Customer feedback is often done as an afterthought after the transaction and runs along preset lines, asking predetermined questions. It's much better to do it in real time, giving the customer the freedom to bring up points they'd like to make. This avoids leaving them to complain on social media, and it improves both the customer experience and staff engagement. Well, that's according to my guest today, Stuart Jackson, Chief Executive and co-founder of Staffino UK, the online tool for customers to leave feedback. I'm Sarah Lockett. Welcome to Great British Business. Stuart, welcome to the London Stock Exchange studios.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me.
So why is doing a customer survey after a transaction not the best way of doing it? Because many companies do it that way, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and there's reason for it. It's something that's something that's historically come from market research and has been poured into this sphere, and it's very useful. But essentially, what it's doing is performing a kind of measurement. So these are predefined questions. So you're not really leaving the conversation open to your customers. You're not letting your customers lead what's important to them, positively or negatively. And it's not particularly dynamic because there's no engagement with your customers when you approach them in this manner.
So what is your solution? How is your product different?
Well, the way that we approach it is we do have survey functionality. We believe there is an import around that. But when you're trying to gather customer insight and when you're trying to manage customer experience, you really need something a little more dynamic. So we get feedback on specific data points, and the way our clients usually do this is to get feedback on individual employees. So on the back of a transaction that's taken place, there's a variety of ways that we reach out to the customer base, but they can leave feedback about that employee. And from this you gather both a micro and a macro view of your customer experience. So you know what's going on with your individual employees, and holistically you get a view of how your customer service is working.
And most companies would use customer feedback to improve the customer experience, but not so much to improve staff engagement. So why do you place so much importance on that?
Well, I think our solution is more about outcomes than it is about just gathering feedback. So we're invested in making sure that all stakeholders gather benefit from this. So the customers are able to engage with the management of an organisation and correspond with them. Likewise, we feedback positive feedback, and we can discuss feedback with our employees. Management can discuss it with employees, and by doing this, we really engage with our employees. Not only does that help with regard retention and engagement in the organisation, but happier employees providing customer service are going to provide better customer service.
Well, we don't just have to take your word for it. We're going to hear now from a couple of your customers.
Staffino has been crucial in helping us to retain customers. It identifies those customers thinking about to leave us and help us to save up to 70% of them. This is mainly down to Staffino's ability to identify issues real time and address this directly with our customers. Building our internal business case on Staffino's value, we found it is saving us hundreds of thousands of euros.
My favorite part of the Staffino tool is the staff motivation module. It's a very effective tool for encouraging employee motivation with direct positive customer feedback. When employees get that feedback from their consumers, it really reinforces good behavior on their part. It also allows them to compete with each other for the number of positive feedbacks they get, for example, in a month or over any period. Really making it a bit of a game and encouraging strong performance across our contact center.
So some big names there, but is there a typical business or size of business that benefits from your services?
We can see two different businesses there in different locations. We work for large organisations, small organisations. I think wherever there's that customer engagement, getting an insight and opening communication channels with your customer base, allowing them to address issues and feedback positively as well into your organisation, your business, is going to be beneficial.
Now, social media is quite an effective tool for hearing what your customers are saying about you and about individual members of staff. So why is that not a good listening device?
You can gather some benefit from it, but It's out there in the sphere. It's people standing on their balconies shouting about how they feel, sometimes over impassioned. You have the issues of social media slurring, you have trolling, this kind of thing. And it's not a direct engagement with your organisation. So as a business, if you can reach out to your customers, ask them how they feel, build that communication channel with them and discuss any issues that they have directly, it's going to be far more positive.
Social media very public.
Yes, absolutely. All the feedback that's happening through our solution, certainly any negative feedback that's coming in through our solution, is really serving the business, and the benefit of that is that by serving the business, you're serving the customer.
And you also help clients to know what to do with the insights that they gain, which is the key, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. It's not about just gathering feedback or doing feedback. Customer experience, should be there for purpose. So we're engaging with our staff in order to make them feel better, feel more engaged. We're using it as a coaching tool for staff when we're getting negative feedbacks coming in. We can help that to further the customer service. But likewise, we also provide services as well. So customer experience audits, customer experience strategies in order to really define the kind of sweet spots and pain points of your organisation in order to really finesse the service that you're providing.
Do you end up really saying something, well, maybe you should actually think about doing this a completely different way because a lot of your customers are saying X?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that we do. We provide semantic analysis as an option. Where we'll break down essentially all the feedbacks that have come in on the positive and negative to be able to really highlight where those key issues are. But likewise for larger organisations where we've got a lot of feedbacks coming through, we've got an AI semantic analysis tool which will do this for you.
And it's also a great tool, isn't it, for getting positive feedback, because often staff don't hear when things went well, they just hear the complaints.
Absolutely, and we've had some surprising results from that as well. So over 50% on average of feedback that comes into organisations is positive. Over 90% of that, I think, is the figure at the moment, comes with a written sentiment. So those sentiments can then be passed on to the employees, as I mentioned before. So really positive impact.
Excellent. Thanks for telling us all about that.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, that's all we've got time for now. From me, Sarah Lockett at the London Stock Exchange Studios, it's goodbye and thanks for watching.